Good morning.
What
Good
are you
evening.
drinking? What did you say you were drinking again?
Apple juice. I'm having some
Oh,
apple juice. Why?
for the past couple of days, I've been catching up on my OJ.
Oh, God. I don't
I've
know what
had
it
an
is. I mean, I
OJ
like OJ,
overload.
but I prefer apple juice. You know, I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
why.
no, yeah, but yeah, seriously though, yeah, OJ would be really good right now. But
Actually, it might not because if it's a sore throat, the what do you call that? You know, the
uh,
tanginess of the OJ.
yeah. But I could use the tanginess. You know what it is that's really more annoying about the voice, aside from the froggy voice.
Hmm.
There's like these little tiny, spots on your head where there's air coming in and out. Like
Hmm.
I brush my teeth and then or no, I don't brush my. What am I doing? Like pag sumising ako and I blow my nose, I could feel that there's like air coming out of my ear somewhere. You
Yeah,
know
it's
that kind of
definitely an
thing.
allergy somewhere because it's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's pressure.
Yeah. So all these sinuses, like, but it's just funny that I can feel like it's branching in and out in my head somewhere. Like,
Isn't it
oh
like that
right,
though? When you're sick, you tend to
mm,
feel everything else.
yeah, that's right. It's
If
a big slap in the face about reality. Like, nope, this is where you are. And yeah, your body gets extra sensitive about, "Nyeh," but nyeh. But when you're healthy and you're doing everything, you feel it. You're invincible. That you can
yeah,
do anything. You're not gonna
touche.
get hurt.
Yeah. Invincible, I think is what you meant,
Isn't
not
that what I said?
invisible. No, you said invisible.
Yeah, it's an invincible N.
There you go.
I got zero friends.
Two guys from two sides of the world. The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. You can catch us live online on YouTube and Facebook Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays. And now, your hosts, Jay and Noel. Yeah, that kind of sucks, actually. You know, when I'm sick, I
Mm,
feel like I feel everything, the
mm.
pain and whatnot.
Are you are are you extra emotional?
I
Jeez,
am. I'm
it
extra
knocked out your
cranky.
camera. It knocked out your camera, bro.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I got to get back in.
I know.
Oh,
All right.
man. All right.
Are
Give
you
me 2 seconds. I'm so sorry.
restarting, logging back in and out, or what?
Yeah, I got to get back out.
I know. All right, I'll hold the fort as much as I could. If you're just catching up, we skipped on yesterday's show as courtesy to my froggy throat. So we didn't do yesterday's show, so we got a bunch of stuff to, catch up with and talk about today. I'm kind of hoping we're gonna get to talk about uh so soon. It's popping back in already. I was
You want me
kind
to
of
leave? I mean, I can leave.
I was enjoying my solo time here. I
Okay.
feel like I sound like Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Yung nagbibinata.
You're, you're, you're literally going through your adulthood.
I was just about to go through my sort of grocery list of stuff that I wanted to talk about here.
Yeah.
If you don't mind,
Go
I'll
ahead.
just give you some keywords. Uh, the pocket, OJ, basically consumption. Uh, I also wanted to mention out something about baseball,
Yeah.
hunt for authenticity, and finally, uh, some Philippine rules that people misunderstand. Philippine road rules that some people misunderstand, actually. So little things here and there. What you got? What do you want to?
Well, I wanted to complain about protesters. What's going on? These freaking protesters here in this country. It's ridiculous. Okay.
You mean the ones that stay in the middle of the road and don't want to leave?
Yeah, it's pointless. Honestly, it's gotten pretty bad that it's affecting. I don't understand it. All right. And the second thing is, I'm a little concerned of what China might be doing. You know, is China preparing for something here that we don't know about?
Oh
Considering the
yeah.
increase in uptake of all of a sudden Chinese nationals that's entering the Philippines. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. What do you want to do first?
That's it. It's gonna be a short show.
It's gonna be a short show.
Okay, listen. I want to be honest. I'm an OJ closet fan. Uh, Closet fan in a sense. Let me get this one out of the way first, okay?
Yeah.
Because I know it's old school, it's old news, and only '90s kids will relate to this kind of thing. But
Right.
I've been obsessing over the trial lately because I've been so out of the loop since like 1997 up until like yesterday. You know what I mean? Or up until like when I found out that he passed. So
It's
there've been
you. You're just discovering it.
I just discovered the lost. Have you heard about the lost interview?
Of course. Come on. Everybody
And
knows
then
that now.
you know, well, I just found out, and then the whole. And this is not a rant. I'm just sort of listing down all the stuff that I found out. So
Mhm.
there's the lost interviews, and then there's this this connection about the Rodney King situation before that I couldn't really connect in my head, and now 30 years
Mhm.
later I finally get it, like, oh yeah, he was beaten up, and so the judges were I don't know, retaliating on his behalf, kind of thing. So I was just kind of getting caught up with that, and it just makes me sad, really. That's really why I wanted to bring it up again.
Mm.
um I guess this is my therapy. Just like, it just feels sad that that he got away with it, and I guess it affects me so much because of that darn smug look on his face.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
That
well,
grin. That's that
yeah,
sideway grin.
yeah. So
Sideway.
there's that. That's just about
Did you
that,
did you watch the
actually.
Netflix movie that they
No,
did on the OJ trial?
no, no. I
Oh,
can't
you need
say
to
I
get
have.
into that. You're missing out.
Because it's so professional. I'm sure it's good, but
Yep.
and thorough. But part of the fun is like looking for stuff on YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
sort of
Mm-hmm.
like sifting through the garbage and trying to
Right.
find like a gold, like there's like a it's like a little, like a scavenger hunt kind of thing. If I go to Netflix, I know like what I'm gonna get right off the
Right.
bat,
Right.
and it's probably gonna be good.
My
But
biggest thing on this case was how popular it made Shapiro and Clark, the lawyer. It's
uh
insane. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Marsha Clark.
but but finally though, the book, that darn book that he came
Oh,
up with, such an insult, such an insult to, like, well,
it's
on top of the lost interview that
right.
he was so smug.
Right.
But even that, just the audacity to come up with a book, man.
It just felt like when that book came out, it just felt like, like na 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 type of thing.
I'm invincible. I can say whatever I want to say, and I'm not going to be tried for it all over again.
Right.
Even
Right.
if it was, if it was a sort of lie, what's the word? Confession.
Mm.
You know, Still really careful, but it was just amazing to watch because he was like sliding in and out
Mm-hmm.
of being hypothetical versus like remembering what it was actually like when he was there.
Right.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. And the fact that like he made this gesture about the Ron Goldman doing like a karate stance, but he couldn't have known that Ron Goldman was a karate guy, kind of thing. It was just
Right.
pulling my hair out. So I didn't want to dwell on it too much, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been keeping me up the past couple of days. Just with respect to everything that happened. It was just, just giving closure to my 90s, you know. So that's it. Just wanted to get that one out of the way.
It's literally putting you into the loop in regards to OJ, especially now that he's dead.
And exactly. And let me get this segue into the next topic real quick,
Right.
and then I'll pass the baton to you. Speaking of like the scavenger hunt on YouTube, like looking for stuff that's, pretty good and not like default to Netflix when I'm looking for something interesting, or
Right.
Hulu or any of the other streaming platforms. Couple of things I wanted to mention. I've been on a hunt for creators, mostly like podcasters or whatever, but the ones that don't seem so produced.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
quite literally, I'm looking for the ones that are kind of like kind of like us actually, that are just sort of grassroots
Right.
trying to like be real about stuff and not have like a whole team behind us.
Right. Right.
So with that said, I wanted to segue into asking you what like your latest who you follow lately, but I also wanted to give you a little bit of chismis.
Mm.
um I don't want to be like part of the Marites squad on YouTube, but did
Mhm.
you hear about the this YouTube channel called Watcher?
Watcher?
uh
I don't think so.
they're three guys from BuzzFeed. They decided to come up with their own YouTube channel.
Okay.
So they went independent and did their own thing, which is not an unusual thing. There's a lot of
A lot of
creators,
people do that.
producers
Yeah.
that have done that, right? And so they went and did their own thing,
Right.
and I think they became big. And then last Friday,
Hmm.
they came up with something like "Goodbye YouTube, see you on our own Netflix," which is like Watcher.com or something like that. And they started charging like everything that they're going to be doing from then on is like $5.99.
Hmm.
And guess how much? Guess how that came out? Guess how their audience, even
How?
myself, not a subscriber,
How did that come out?
people were enraged.
What do you mean
Like,
raged?
are you freaking kidding me? You guys are so greedy. Like, you've been giving it to all of us for free. And then
Mhm.
plus, aside from the fact that they also have a Patreon already, so they
Mhm.
actually already have an audience that's paying for whatever it is that they get extra on their Patreon, right?
Right.
And then now they think that it was such a good, like, I don't know if it's a PR thing or a marketing thing, but like a business move to say goodbye to YouTube. Just put like little trailers here and there, little clips, but
Right.
not the entire 15-20 minute videos that they make. And they decided to put that, like, it
So
was like,
where are they putting it? Are they putting it on Netflix? Did they sign a contract or something or
no,
what?
no, no, I was joking about Netflix. It's
Oh.
called it's called Watcher, Watcher.com. So they have their own website, their own subscription website.
Right.
Anyway, so I think that was last Friday. And then now, guess what happens on Monday or Tuesday or yesterday, I think?
Hmm.
They have an apology video
What?
saying,
What?
like, basically, sorry about that. We screwed up. Please don't go anywhere. Um, we're not going to charge you for it anymore. It was just a bad. It was just a bad. Sorry, I didn't have it queued up, but it was just a bad. Like, whoever told them to do that and
Right.
think like, bro, it's like a lot of this is what I wanted to talk to you about, the comments of the people that felt like, yeah, that one.
They were duped.
Yeah, it's more interesting to be looking at the comments, bro. It was like I could barely afford my McDonald's. In Australia, by the way, they call it Macca's. I can't. I could barely afford Macca's. I could barely afford McDonald's. And
Right.
now you're charging me $6.99 to watch your stuff. I mean, like, I came here to have fun and watch free stuff, and then now you're asking me to pay for it.
For
So
just
it's just,
$5.99 a month, you can feed these poor BuzzFeed refugees.
it was just
I
crazy.
can't I can't stand reading these kind of things because for people are complaining about $5.99, $2.99, whatever, dude. If people look in the mirror and look at their bank accounts of what they spend that kind of money on, they shouldn't be bitching. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. You know?
no, no, no. But what I mean is, I think what you probably don't get from the comments here is that they blindsided us. I
Correct.
don't even
No, I
subscribe and
got
I
that.
don't even
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
their stuff. I don't even watch their stuff. I'm not really familiar with their stuff. But what I'm saying is, little that I know about, this creator world, it's like, don't like blindside your audience. Like, you wouldn't have those 2 million viewers or subscribers
If it
if you,
wasn't for them.
you know what I mean? There was like
Yeah,
everybody was saying, like, if you want to do a subscription thing, then do a subscription thing on top of what you're doing already now.
correct. You can't
And
just ask for it without adding anything new.
what they were bitching about with their video, with their initial video last Friday was, we need to be able to pay these 25 employees that we hired,
Mm.
and we want to be able to give you like quality content. And people were saying, number one, we don't need your quality content. We want like your authentic, fun content that you came up with to begin with, and not the
Right.
overproduced kind of one. And then the other one, which I resonate with totally, is, I mean, that's the one that I resonate with totally. And then but the other one is like, we're not in charge of paying for your 25 employees.
Mm.
That's your problem. Like,
Right. Exactly.
figure out
Yeah.
another way.
Right.
Either fire some of them or change your content so you don't have to be traveling and paying for stuff all the time.
Right. Well, I'm
It just
sure all that expenditure is actually coming out from ads that they've already generated and whatnot. So
yeah, whatever. But the whole point is, it's like, you don't make me, the audience members, like,
feel responsible.
feel responsible or feel guilty for that kind of stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? Figure out
Right.
another way to do it, or at least like, don't just like pull the rug from under me and say, well, goodbye YouTube, see you on the other, where there's a paywall, you have to pay $5.99 for it.
Right.
It was
Right.
just, I mean, I'm no businessman, but it was just a bad move, and it's just so strange that they couldn't see that was a bad move themselves.
The approach was definitely wrong because, like you said earlier, it's like asking people for more money for nothing new. That's it.
It's like
Yeah.
these guys didn't watch a single Mr. Beast advice video on how to make money on YouTube
Which they did.
that everybody watches. Like, where do they
Right.
get the audacity to think that, they have the audience to actually move to? I mean, it's not even like Netflix kind of content or movies that they're coming up with. They're still
Right.
doing vlogs.
Right.
So,
Right.
but it was just painful to see a creator, or a bunch of guys fall for that kind of mistake, and it
Right.
just made them greedy, and it just made them look like detached from their audience,
Yeah.
which is, it was just so weird to see something like that. I mean, it was just so weird to see. It was like watching a comic bomb on stage. It was just so
Oh, that's rough.
it was just so uncomfortable.
Right.
Not someone with 2 million something subscribers. I mean, if you have like 200 subscribers, maybe.
Bottom line, they
not-
got greedy, probably. You
I
know
don't
what I
know
mean?
whose fault it is, but it was
Yeah.
nice to see like an apology video that like hit some spots.
Right.
Like, they said the lines that you would have wanted to hear in an apology video, but at the same time, like, it would have been an opportunity for me, for example, to check out their stuff, to gain a new fan because of their next move. Like,
Right.
ooh, I wonder what they're gonna do next. But instead, parang damage has been done, and now it's not interesting. They just look like whatever they come up with next, or whatever they will come up with next, just, it's like a bad stain. So
It's a bad stain. That's a good way of putting it.
that's just the last thing that I have as far as content hunting and YouTube is
Right.
concerned. That's
Right.
my rant.
I want to jump into. Are you done with yours?
Yeah.
I
Pass
want
you
to
the
jump with
baton.
these protesters really quick.
What you got?
So around here in my neck of the woods, it's all over. It's circulating online, or all of a sudden you're seeing a lot of shorts, some TikToks and whatnot about people getting sick and tired, like literally sick and tired of these protesters.
and they're not just any protesters; they're environmental protesters.
Oh man, I don't care what kind of protesters they are, to be honest with you, but I believe that everybody, it's in the Constitution. Everybody has the right to protest. Your freedom to protest applies directly with your freedom of speech. But there's a gray line every single time. All right. This is what's. I mean, I don't know how old this is, to be honest with you, but things like this is what got to me, and it's circulating online.
You were caught in this mess this morning. Tempers flare when thousands of drivers were
Can you hear
stuck
it?
because of
Yeah.
dozens of demonstrators protesting Israel's war with Hamas, bringing traffic on the 110 freeway to a screeching
This is
halt.
in
A lot
LA.
of people frustrated. It happened near 3rd Avenue in South LA and ended with a lot of arrests. KTLA's Carlos Salcedo joining us live with who the protesters are and what they were demanding. And now they're going to face consequences. Carlos?
Ladies, we're talking about dozens of protesters.
I'm okay with protesting.
Were arrested this morning for disrupting.
I don't think that there's a. I don't think that it should be taken away from people's rights. But if you're going to protest and all of a sudden interrupt people's lives too much on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
go screw yourself. Like this group of people, look at them right there, just blocking an entire freeway. All right. I understand they want their rights to be heard, what they're trying to say to be heard. But in reality, what is that going to do? Are they willing to sacrifice their life?
I saw the other one on the Golden Gate Bridge the other day.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, it was just a nuisance. It reminds me of those guys offering you credit cards at the mall.
I mean, literally, like blocking you that way.
Yeah, no, but it's like a line of scrimmage. You know, they're like, okay, if I walk to the left side, they're gonna block me on this side.
Right.
I'm gonna, like, it's like, dude, I don't mind you try to do your business and do your thing.
Right.
But allow me to also say no and avoid what it is that you're offering.
Yeah. I mean, up to what extent though, are you willing to sacrifice your own? Are you willing to sacrifice your freedom of speech? Are you willing to risk your life just to get to be heard for the cause that whatever it is that you're protesting about? You know?
Yeah, there was even a couple of bits of news where like a surgeon missed his operation, things like that because of this kind of nonsense. And, it kind of circles back to the thing that you mentioned a while ago, or the thing that we were talking about a while ago about this.
Right.
In my mind, how it kind of connects. These guys like trying to offer their own like subscription for their videos.
Right.
It's like, I don't mind you asking me to pay for stuff, but don't just cut it off and force me to go there.
Right.
I think that's why it came across the wrong way, because it was like you leave me with no choice.
No choice. It's ridiculous though, because I understand that as a protester, you do have your freedoms and your right to do things, but again, there has to be a gray line. How far are you taking your right? That a lot of the times, actually, these protesters, they don't realize that their right is obviously limited to something as well. It can't be something that's interrupting people's life. Like you said, a surgeon missed his operation or whatever, And then how far are people willing to take it?
Yeah.
Is it something that they want to die for? Now, because of all of this, people are also starting to just get sick and tired of it. It's amazing the reaction that's going on right now. And to be honest with you, I'm for it.
Check this out.
This is another big truck.
Yeah, what are they saying? What are they going to do?
This is another big truck.
Can you hear it? No.
Yeah.
Yep. But this is interesting.
So now people are getting physical and dragging people out of the way.
More on the way.
Yeah.
And he immediately gets right back up and march right back over there and sit in front of that truck. I'm just gonna sit there. You can drag me away as many times as you. Oh, and this I love.
I love this chick.
The girl grabs the
I mean, she just drags the girl by the hair and off the street.
Drags her across the street.
Some people are just looking for stuff to do, man. Something to live for.
Yeah.
Something to
Okay,
like.
so the guy gets her out of there, but then the boss chick's like, oh wait, I get another chance at pulling the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let's do this again.
You
Here we go.
learned your lesson yet?
I don't get it.
Grab you by
You
the
know,
hair,
I mean,
pull you out again.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry. I'm a bad person, but I love it. Then this happened. Check this out.
It's amazing how finally some people are taking a stand on this, because they can't be doing something like this. Really, it doesn't make sense. Why block streets? Block the doorway of wherever it is that they work, that they're protesting or whatever.
I remember hearing this quote, or do it in a park somewhere, or have you ever heard of social media? And I remember hearing this thing back in high school. Your rights end where another person's begins.
Oh, touche. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can agree to that.
I mean, of
Yeah.
course, maybe if you're protesting on the road, people don't see you, then or hear your message, then find another way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why choose the streets? I mean, yeah, are they not uh getting apprehended for being a public nuisance or for
Mhm.
blocking traffic or anything like that? They don't they nothing?
That group that was on the freeway because they wanted to stop the violence or the war in Gaza.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry to tell them, but 50 people standing or 20 people blocking a freeway is not going to stop what's going on. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of things. Okay. If people over there are getting killed for no apparent reason, that's over there itself. Okay. Why do you think it's going to matter about here? About it here, them blocking a freeway. How does blocking a freeway or any vehicle relate or affect what it is you're fighting for? How? I don't understand that, you know?
That's reminds me of what I say to any friend, girlfriend, close person that has a problem with me,
Mm,
that complains about like if he or she protests and does something like this, puts my stuff out on the yard, throws
right.
my stuff out on the road so that I can get the message or what's like. Now you created two problems, right?
Exactly.
You put my stuff outside, or you stopped in the middle of the road, so now
Hmm.
there's a traffic problem.
Hmm.
And then aside from the problem that you're trying to solve, which is all these nonsense killing of other people.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, if the problem is getting the message across, then let's get the message across. Let's not create another problem.
Right. Good job. Good job. Good job. That's the right way of putting it or saying it, you know?
It's really a
It,
matter of getting the message across.
yeah, but these people, I don't understand. How do they believe that by blocking a freeway, it's going to get the message across? How? What is the connection? Are those people, that thousands of people that they have blocked on the freeway, are those the one that's going to be making the decision?
Right.
No. They had nothing to do with it. They literally had nothing to do with what it is that these people are protesting for. So what? It puts what you're trying to fight for into shame, really. It doesn't make sense. If you're trying to stop a fight in Gaza or to stop the war in Gaza, do you really think that blocking the freeway and interrupting thousands of people's lives is going to change that? I mean, they're not the one making that decision. Maybe go to the White House, protest in front of the White House or in front of your government center, as opposed to blocking a freeway. You know?
And when they do something like that, like silly and nonsense like that, the more I want to go, nah, 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 I'm not listening to you. I don't
And
want to hear you.
and now, how far do they take it, and how far does it go when they protest like that in the freeway? I think that justifies some kind of force for them to be taken out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so what
obviously nothing to a
consequences are they talking about?
well, now they're just arresting them. There's going to be charges pressed and whatnot, which is fine. You know, but really, in hindsight of things, obviously these people know that most people will not go into extremes to stop that, right? But as a protester, how far does it go? When do you say enough is enough? Until somebody
Yeah.
literally rolls over you and crushes your legs? What? Is that something that you're willing
Yeah.
to do?
Yeah, so some people take this freedom of speech thing a little too far or kind of misunderstand it.
Mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm.
there's freedom of speech, but you can protest, but get a permit.
Well, they
so
always have permits. They always have
Right.
permits.
not the one on the street.
The problem with what's going on with that is the interpretation of things, though. You know?
I don't know, but for this particular one though, specifically, they don't have a permit to be protesting in the middle of the freeway.
Well, yeah, I'm sure not in the middle of the freeway, but I think that needs to be specified. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that in itself,
Right.
like, go ahead, protest whatever it is that you want to protest, and do your thing, and I'll be
Mhm.
happy to hear you. But like, at the right place and time.
Do you think that those protesters are just trying to make it too extreme? Oh, we need to be noticed, because that's always the case, right? So, okay, you need to be noticed, but at what extent? Doesn't that contradict what you're protesting for? I mean, you said it yourself. Okay, you're protesting for the violence in Gaza, but now you're creating more issues here.
Have you heard about this a little controversial sort of group called Greenpeace? I mean, it kind of reminds me of the same thing, right? Where they're doing their thing,
Yeah.
but some people will say that it's a little too violent, or they shouldn't be, doing anything physical like that.
Right.
Whatever. I'm neither here nor there about Greenpeace, but what I'm saying is, at least in Greenpeace, if they do that, they're in the middle of the ocean. If somebody gets hurt, they're in the middle of the ocean. But like what you're saying, to your credit, to your point, there's so many other people that are affected that don't that have nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Exactly. And by you doing, as a protester, doing something like that contradicts your own belief. It contradicts your stand, basically, not your belief, your stand and what you're protesting for, or why you're protesting.
And like I said, the way that you do it, the manner that you do it, if it's like, you throw my stuff out on the street because you're not listening, that I'm like putting up or down the toilet bowl, whatever it might be,
right?
Then your message is lost, man, and I don't want to hear you because now my focus is on something else.
Right. No, I agree.
Well, that's my one-on-one interpretation of the same situation, whether I'm dealing with one person or 1,000 people.
So basically, the way I see it, if you're going to protest, I think I agree with what you're saying. You definitely need to be a permit, and that permit needs to have some definite details on where it's going to be and whatnot, But as a for protesters out there, don't involve any other people that has nothing to do with it. Move on, go protest at the place where it actually your concern affects it.
Amen.
A good example of that, real quick, before last thing, EDSA Revolution. I mean, that says it all. It's not like they protested in Makati or something. They protested in front of a military camp or base, so to speak, in Camp Crame, to get their points heard.
That's a bit on the gray side because it did cause traffic also, and there were like 1 million people on the road.
There was 1 million people, but it did. The point is, where else are they supposed to do it? And unfortunately, that led to what? An actual civil war, so to speak, that lasted a week.
But I don't get it. There's social media.
I don't either. They don't think that they're being heard. Well, granted, because social media does filter things a lot.
Right, but at the same time, it's like you can't force your message down on other people. That's the problem.
Yeah. That's like me being Catholic. Oh, you should be Catholic.
Right.
Really? It doesn't make sense.
That's another whole can of worms.
Yeah. So one of the big things, just to shift topics here real quick, that I've been trying to follow as well, is what's going on between the South China Sea and between the Philippines and China. All right.
Ooh.
So all of a sudden, there's an insurgence of Chinese republics that are entering the Philippines.
Listen, before we go too far and down deep into this depressing topic again, after this, I got reserved for the next topic. I want to do a little commercial break before I forget.
Yeah. Well, this is gonna be quick. This is gonna be quick.
What you got?
So it's actually been. It's not like it's going unnoticed. Okay. It's not
alleged Chinese sleeper cells in the Philippines. This was triggered in part by suspicions over the swarm of Chinese students in a province hosting joint U.S.-Philippine military facilities.
Right.
Pia Gutierrez has tonight's top story.
Did you hear about this?
The armed forces of the Philippines.
No.
So, in one of the camps in Cagayan, in the provinces in Cagayan, where the American troops are actually training Filipino soldiers as well, all of a sudden the spike on Chinese students that enrolled so close to that camp. It's gotten to be quite scary for them. So it led me to ask, like, is China preparing something?
He says it is looking into the influx of thousands of Chinese college students in the province of Cagayan. AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla says they are coordinating with the Philippine National Police and other government agencies to determine if the presence of these Chinese students pose a threat to national security. Last year, Naval Base Camilo Cias in Santa Ana, Cagayan was named as one of the 4 new sites for the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA.
And sabi nga, estudyante to. So kung meron ba silang student visas that are required. So we are coordinating with the Bureau of Immigration, the DFA, and since students to, sir, no, pati yung CHED.
At the House of Representatives, ACT Teachers Party List representative.
It's kind of scary to think, though. Is China really preparing something? Have they gotten to go this far into it?
Sure
like
they
sending.
have.
What's that?
Like at least the past 20 years, man.
Right.
This is like news a couple of days, 2 weeks ago, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they've been doing something for at least the past 20 years.
What's scary about it is, I'm sure they have, but what's really scary about it is all of a sudden in a place where it shouldn't be happening. Literally miles from the camp.
And I love our Chinese brothers and sisters, and I don't mean that in a negative way, in a sense that they're like insidious or something like that.
Right.
Maybe, probably, whatevs. But what I mean is, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, who knows? Maybe they're trying to come up with a business and uplift the relationship with the Philippines. But whether it's good or bad, I'm sure there's something going on. Which reminds me, how's that little hole in the wall that you got in Texas?
Oh man, the thing is, it's actually died down. It's the same thing. The hole's still there, I'm sure.
Same kind of surge, though, right?
Well, they probably did something about it already, but I don't know. I need to follow up on it.
No, but
the noise has gone down.
On the news. No, but what I mean is, like, you're talking about, like, there in Texas, it's illegal immigrants walking through the hole. But here, it's a bunch of students. Same thing.
Oh man, huge difference. Come on.
Whether they're illegal immigrants or students, they're still Chinese walking into the country.
Right.
In droves.
I don't know if they've actually filled that 4-foot gap already, but I'm gonna follow up on it and see where it is. But yeah, it just led me to think that should the Philippines expect anything worse? Should they really start getting scared or preparing?
Yeah, it is scary.
I mean, unfortunately it's gotten pretty violent as well. I mean, the whole situation has increased in actual violent reactions from both sides with the ships and whatnot. But there's also news that apparently former President Duterte had a verbal agreement with the president of China in regards to it. I don't know if I'm sure you've heard of it, and it surprised the current administration, like Marcos administration.
What did they say?
It's so not. I don't want to put anything into words in regards to it yet because nothing is really that clear. But apparently, there's some kind of verbal agreement in regards to the territory that's being fought for. So they're trying to figure out what that is exactly and what it entails. But I saw online that the Marcos administration is taking full denial into it because they don't know anything about it. Yeah. So yeah. But the last thing that I have on this really is it's a scary thought. Should Filipinos start getting worried? Really? Now, could this cause a bigger issue in regards to all of a sudden he said, she said type of thing? Because of the influx of students that are all of a sudden in this place where it never happened before. It's questionable. It's very, very questionable, So that's that. What do you got? Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Let's try to lighten things up.
Things up a little bit.
Just a little bit here. And, with a little influence of, is it Michael Mara? With the background music and saying, we'll be right back.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm still here.
While we're doing that, let's give my wife a wake-up call.
What's up?
It's time to wake up. So can you hear the ring? Yeah. Oh, she has work. She's not. Hey, are you awake?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. It's time to wake up. It's 7:40 already.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
So supportive.
The wake-up call brought to you by... Oh, man. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on with the other one later, after the show.
Just a quick one. This has been... this is going to give me a lot of joy for the rest of... At least for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
2024 has been really interesting.
I love it. I saw that. I can't wait to put that up.
Is this up already? Yeah, I hope you don't mind. We're showing it here on the podcast, right? I'm just a little too excited for it.
It's not up yet, but I'm definitely going to put it. Dang it. That's all you, man.
Yeah. It's just, I saw this a while ago and I was like, aww.
Aww.
So sweet. It's so crazy. So thank you, Christine, for coming up with the thumbnails. I can't have any credit for this one, but it was just... I love how our faces go together with the Jolly Spaghetti.
Have you actually heard from him lately, or follow? Have you showed? I think the episode is coming out next week, right?
Yeah. He was messaging me a while ago, actually asking me if there's anything I wanted to put up there, like a link or what. So I said, yeah, a link to the podcast would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's it. So we're coming up with thumbnails.
If you could ask him to put a link up there for our show and then tag us or tag the show at least.
I did.
Good.
I haven't shown him this one yet though. So I'm excited.
See what he says.
Let's see if there's one more thing. So that's the Jolly thumbnail. And
by the way, congratulations, Dagan, for reaching 16,000 subscribers.
Woot.
It's awesome. Can you share some of that this way, please?
Let's see. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, we got plenty of time. We got like 18 minutes, dude.
I wanted to ask you about if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about gear.
Yeah.
There, remember the mother of my inaanak that is, I'm supposed to be training for this, for him to gain weight and gain strength, that kind of thing.
Right.
Was asking me if she's the second person in this month, and you'll know who the first person is, asking me if the DJI Pocket is any good. So I wanted to ask you how it's been for you. Have you been using it?
I have.
Bad?
So but the very few times that I've used it, it's good. The main reason I don't use it as much, I'm afraid because it's too fragile. You know what I mean? The gimbal itself is very fragile at the top where the lens is, okay? With this thing that's only protecting it, I feel so insecure that I'm going to break it. Also, it does have that little strap that goes when you wear it, right? It's like that strap. It's a string, whatever. You just put it on and you hold the camera, right? But you can't just leave that dangling around unlike a GoPro. You know what I mean? I can actually throw my GoPro around, which needs to be replaced, by the way, because it's so old.
It's the kind of camera that you have to have your little pinkies up like that while you're touching it, moving it like that.
The DJI, the Osmo
yeah,
Pocket.
The Pocket. Yeah,
yeah.
It's I don't know. Maybe it's been coming up on her feed because maybe it's on sale a lot lately. Maybe there's a lot of stock that they're trying to get rid of.
Maybe,
I don't know
but
what it is.
In my thing is as soon as I can find I think I found one. I just need to order it a more secure shell for it. And then I'm gonna be using it a lot more, to be honest with you.
And yeah, you were showing me that shell or that casing that you have. That's only for storage. You can't use that for shooting or while you're
Correct.
shooting.
Correct. So being bare, where there's no actual casing on it, that's what scares me because it feels so fragile. Like we went on vacation to Florida, and I actually used the GoPro more than the DJI, just because again I didn't have the proper casing, where I didn't have the proper attachments yet, where I can just strap it into my backpack. I'm it's like you're spending so much money on a DJI, and it's great. I love it. The flexibility of it, being able to use it, and the screen itself. Um, but I'm just afraid of breaking it.
Yeah, yeah. If you're in a hurry, those things are always a big deal. Like we kind of forget about, we always think that we're these, cinematographers that have all the time in the world to put our cameras together. But the thing is,
Right,
when you're in a
right.
hurry, you're in a hurry. You don't want to just throw your stuff in the bag sometimes and not have to worry about these cheche boreche on the side, these little
Yeah.
things on the side, just so that you don't break it. So she was asking me like, is that a good camera? I was like, I don't really know much about it, but you're the second person that's asking me about it. And then she said, because I'm trying to choose between the Pocket and this other camera from Sony. And I was like, which one? Well, she was like, this one. So it turns out she's looking into the, what do you call this? The Sony, I forget what this one's called. Is it V7?
RX 100.
RX 100. Yeah. So this one is what I suggested to her because, it's like a regular point and shoot. Plus the really selling factor to it, aside from the flip screen, which is, good for vlogging. If you want to like flip it around and talk to yourself and take a bunch of selfies, it's got the 24 to 200 zoom in,
The
which
zoom.
means you don't have to keep changing lenses to be able to reach out and touch the sky.
Right.
It's probably a
Is that
little
is
bit
that
more
considered
expensive.
an action cam or no?
No. This is not an action cam. The trouble with the action cams though, they can't zoom in, or most of them don't have good zoom in. They're built to really be sort of thrown around. This one, don't throw this one around, but I think the selling point is really being able to zoom in, which I think, which is what she wants to do, considering that her kid is out on the field or doing his thing, that she wants to take pictures of or video of. And at the same time, like I said, the camera switches over. The camera,
The
the
lens,
screen,
the screen itself.
flips
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Plus, you can also use it as a webcam. So this is the kind of thing.
It looks like it's a nice camera. I'm actually looking at it as well, and I do like the flexibility of the screen being able to flip up, slide up, where you can look at it with a selfie or something when you're doing a selfie. I don't know, the way I see it, for depending on what you're using it for. Let's be honest, pictures wise, most people use their phones nowadays
Yeah,
everywhere you
yeah,
go.
yeah. I was
So
saying, baka mas maganda pa. Maybe her phone is even better than
correct.
the other camera that she's looking at.
So if you're looking to use it as a video camera itself, for something a little bit more professional, I definitely use that. But if you're traveling on the go all the time, I'd actually use either an action cam or a DJI.
And if you're looking for image stabilization, meaning you can walk or run while you're shooting,
Right,
yeah,
right.
the gimbal is nice, but that's kind of almost old school technology in the sense that there are cameras now that actually have like in
Stabilization.
camera
Correct.
stabilization. Like,
Correct. Correct.
the microchip itself is the one that's sort of figuring out,
Right. Right.
like what's the horizon.
Right. I do like how with this though, what I tested with a DJI is I literally bounced around, and the gimbal adjusts on its own,
Yeah, which is nice.
which
It's
is
like a little.
great because you're not gonna
Mm.
get that digitally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice, but at the same time, it's like, it's interesting for like the first 10 minutes. It looks like a cobra. It has
Yeah.
a mind of
Yeah.
has a mind
Yeah.
of its own,
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, man, I have to always like put the helmet on. You don't want to break it, and then if you disalign it, you have to calibrate the gimbal again, and it can
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah.
a wire
That's
inside that you can break. It's like,
it's definitely a um it's too fragile for me if I from my experience so far. But again, I think once I get the proper casing for it when I go out and use it, I think it'll be better. You know.
which one? Which one?
For the DJI, the Osmo. But this is what I'm looking to replace my GoPro with.
Yeah.
I want to get rid of the GoPro. This GoPro is so old. It's the Hero Black 5 or Hero 5 Black, where you can't even see yourself in the
one
outside
that you
screen.
have. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the one that you have. Yeah.
Right. So what I really want to replace it with is the DJI Osmo Action 3, which is I think the next one after the second one that you have. So I'm gonna try it out to see how it is. Maybe if I make enough money to save, then I'm gonna get that one. We'll see what happens, because that's really what I want to replace the GoPro with. Because and one of the things that I don't like about the DJI, though, the big thing really, it's not waterproof.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
thing.
a number of
Yeah,
times
yeah.
that it rained on vacation or even just going to DC, it started raining. I got so worried. I'm like, come on, put it in the bag, let's go. I don't like that, you know. While everywhere we go, I just have the GoPro clip on the baby stroller,
Is
and
it cheap?
even if it's
cheaper, though?
raining.
I wonder why they're pushing it, or why
Which one?
it's
The
the
DJI?
pocket. Is it much? Is it much cheaper?
The DJI?
The pocket, yeah, DJI Pocket though.
No, the Osmo Pocket, the one that I have. Yeah. No,
Uh,
it's a little bit more expensive, to be honest with you. Well, technology is even better for it. So,
Yeah, so,
um,
so some people, that stabilization is really important, and it's
correct.
like they want to use a gimbal for stabilization. That's
Mhm.
their thing. But you get your pluses and minuses.
Correct. And one of the biggest things with this one really is with the technology of it being able to follow you when it's just standing there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, hands free. Like, look, ma,
Yeah,
camera's following me
I
without me moving it.
I don't have that on, but it basically all it takes is like 2 clicks of a thumb and it's following me around.
Knocks naman, oh.
You know what I mean?
Knocks naman.
It's just like that. And a lot of people who are doing vlogs or are on vacation that put it on a stationary and they want everybody in there. You can take multiple shots with multiple pictures, yada, yada, or faces. It'll follow you around, and it's a great thing. You know, just don't use that when you're doing it as a webcam, because this is what happens. You know, it's
Yun nga, you really gotta come up with like your own, like, these are my needs kind of matrix. This is my
Right.
budget, and these are the cameras that can actually do the stuff that I needed to do.
correct. Correct.
Don't get caught up with the features and benefits if those are
Right.
not even part of what you need.
Right.
Bro, I think we got like 5 minutes left.
Right.
You have like a pressing, burning desire to talk about something, because I got one more that I think you'll be interested
Now go
in.
ahead. Go ahead.
This is not queued up though, but like we were talking a while ago about we were talking a while ago about things, freedom of speech and that kind of thing, and how people misunderstand. We're looking at the same rules,
Right.
but we're interpreting it in a different manner. I'm talking about some rules here in the Philippines.
Okay.
Just this one real quick. I think I should play it first so you could hear it, and so
All
you
right.
can understand exactly what I'm talking about, and get my
You need
my
to
throat
unmute it.
to rest. It's not playing yet. Okay, here it is.
Can't hear it.
Can you hear it?
No.
You can't hear it?
No. Can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. So what he's
Are
saying
you sharing a video or a screen?
I'm sharing a video. I'm sharing
Yeah.
a screen. What am I
From
supposed to do?
Okay, so if you go down to the bottom, you go present. If it's not, you know how there's 3 tabs at the top when you go share screen, you want to select the same window that you have this window on. Like if you have it from Google Chrome, you have to open it from Google Chrome. Like add a window on this StreamYard next to it. Just add a window, open that video from there, and then that's how you do it.
Hold on. It's not. Oh man. Let me see if I can paste it there. Okay. I think I got it. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on a second. You mean it needs to be from the same? Oh, there. Okay, let's try this one. See if it works. Can you hear that?
No. Maybe your volume's not up?
No, it's way up. Hold on. I took that out. Maybe I'm confused. I'll try another one. One more last.
One more last?
Yeah. How's this?
Hola.
No?
Nope. Can't hear anything.
That's weird. How come?
I don't know. Here, send the link to the chat, and then I can play it real quick.
Man. Private chat?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here, try that. You play it from your end. Basically, he's on the road. You got the link?
Where did you send it?
On the private chat.
Which one?
Private chat on StreamYard.
Oh, on StreamYard. I'm sorry.
All
right.
You got it?
Yep, I got it. Can you take that thing you're sharing off?
Yeah. Sorry. So basically, he's
No,
on
you're
the
fine.
road
Let me know if you can hear it.
You should be doing.
Yun ang huwag mo i-practice dahil baka dumating sa point na yung matsyempohan ka ng bulaga ba? Yan, katulad yan, huwag mong gagayahin yan. Yan, marunong lang mag-drive pero hindi niya alam kung paano gamitin ang kalsada. Kasi ang overtaking lane sa ganitong klase ng kalsada, nasa right. Kasi tingnan mo, nasa right ang broken line. Kasi nga, kumbaga, tulad nito, 3 lanes na siya. Diba? So, solid line yan, solid white line. Ibig sabihin yan, boundary yan ng magkasalubong na kalsada. So, karapatan yan nila. Hindi tayo dapat napunta dyan. Kasi nga, mayroon lang nga tayong 3 linya, ipupunta ka pa dun sa kanila. Diba?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yung mga ganong overtake, yung alangan, yun ang huwag mo i-practice dahil baka dumating sa point na yung matsyempohan ka ng bulaga ba? Yan, katulad yan, huwag mong gagayahin.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I agree with that guy. Let me put it this way. Too many people get into an accident here because of that as well. And they want to be heroes because they think, oh yeah, my car is fast. I can just skim through before the next car comes, yada, yada, yada. And next thing you know, boom, somebody dies.
Hold on. Let's agree with the facts here first. So there are several lanes on this freeway or this highway.
Right.
Highway meaning fast cars. It's not a residential road. The center line is a white solid line. And then the other lanes are divided by broken lines. Okay. Go ahead. What were you saying?
So when there's a solid line, you're not supposed to cross that because that's definitely the other lane, no matter what. Now, here there's actually different options as well. So if I'm the driver, right? The middle line could be a solid line, and then right next to it is a broken line, literally next to each other.
Right.
That means the other lane at that particular section can actually use the other lane to pass. Now, it's eventually going to shift where it's going to be a broken line and then a solid line next to each other.
Yeah. Right.
And that allows you the same thing. But if it's only a solid line, you never use that to overtake.
Got it.
Same thing here. No matter
I think you might have missed the point of why I'm trying to show you the video.
What's that?
You remember the part where he says you're not supposed to overtake there? In this kind of scenario, you're supposed to overtake on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Do you hear him say? Do you agree that you should overtake on the right side?
It depends. If who's driving, what the speed of the traffic is. You know.
So let's say you're on the same road. Let's say you and all the other cars are on the inner lane, which is the lane closest to the center line, which is a solid white center line.
That should be the passing lane. If you're driving slow, you should be on the right lanes.
So that's what I'm saying. What he's saying here, I don't know if it's a lot being lost in translation. You might want to play it again. What he's saying here is that don't overtake on the left side. Don't cross the white line.
Correct.
What he's saying here is you should overtake on the right side where the broken white lines are.
Right. In a way, he's still correct. But if you're driving slow, you shouldn't be on the left side. You need to be on the right side.
That's where we disagree here, or that's where I disagree with what he's saying on the video and what a lot of people were also saying on the video, because as well-meaning as they are, it's really simple. Slow vehicles are on the right side.
Correct.
Always and only overtake on the left side.
Correct. I agree.
Now, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I need to put like open close parentheses here. I have some videos on the motorcycle. I'm overtaking on the right side.
I was about to say that.
I know that what I'm doing is wrong or is not part of the rules. Like, kung magkabanggaan kami, we get into an accident, I know that I'm not on the correct side of the road overtaking.
Correct.
Okay. But what I'm saying here is that it's so simple that it never turns around to, it depends on which side of what's happening on the road, left or right side. Those lines in those broken lines on this video that he shot, those broken lines are just to divide the different lines.
Correct.
The different
lanes.
But if you're going to overtake, meaning if you're going to go faster than the other cars, technically you should be overtaking on the
left side.
The left side, the driver's side.
Correct.
Okay. But I also understand what you're saying. That if there are other cars on the right side or on the right lane or the outer lanes,
right.
If there are no, let me correct myself. If there are no cars on the outer lanes, which is on the right side,
right,
it kind of makes more sense to overtake on the right side.
Correct.
Okay.
Because obviously the person you're overtaking shouldn't be on the left side. Yeah. That's why you have no choice, because it's going to cause more problems if you don't move.
Right. So yes, it depends. But technically, on paper and on the rules of the road, if you took a seminar and passed your exam at the LTO, Land Transportation Office here, technically, you should be overtaking on the left side. So what he's saying, because the problem of this video is he's driving so freaking slow.
Right. Right. Well, maybe
he's driving as slow as a tricycle would drive.
Right.
So in other words, he should actually be all the way either in the middle or all the way to the right side.
He might have been driving in the right speed or fast enough. It's just the van that overtook him is just driving faster. Now, in this particular case, the driver that was driving faster that overtook him, the van, should have, in this case, since it's a solid line, should have overtook him on the right side. But he shouldn't be driving in that lane to begin with. He should have been driving in the right side.
Right. Yun nga eh. That's what makes it so complicated, because he's trying to make this lecture about if and where people should be overtaking. Number one, you should be overtaking on the left side. So what he's saying is wrong, that, you should be overtaking on the right side. Yeah, it makes most sense to overtake on the right side if there are no other cars.
Correct.
But if there is a car on lane number 1, lane number 2, and then lane number 3, the only place that you can and always should, like 90% of the time, if you need to overtake, should be on the left side. But what's so infuriating about this video really is that he's driving so freaking slow and he's on the fast lane, on the overtake lane. if you were going to be overtaking the first two other lanes.
Yeah, I guess.
So-
Yeah.
And it's also wrong that he's saying that you're not supposed to be overtaking on the solid white yellow line. It's only on the solid yellow line that you're not supposed to be overtaking. This solid yellow line that he's talking about here is a white yellow line, which only indicates it as the center line.
But hold on. Now you lost me. If it's a solid line, you can't pass it. Period.
Only if it's a double yellow line.
Wrong. Oh yeah,
This
actually you're right.
this
Yeah, you're right.
solid
You're
yellow-
right.
This solid white line here is only to show you that this is the center line, because all the other lines look the same. All the other lines are broken lines. So anyway,
Yeah,
that took
you're
longer
right.
than
If
I
it's
thought it
two
would.
double solid lines, you can't pass it whatsoever. But if it's a solid line only, you still can't use it as a passing lane.
Say that again.
If it's one single solid line, you still can't use it as a passing lane. Maybe as long as it's a solid line, maybe single or double, you can't use it as a passing lane, no matter what.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes,
Here you
If it's
can't.
white, if it's white, you can. If it's double yellow line, don't.
No, I don't. Well, I don't see. We don't have yellow lines here. Okay, so that's the difference there. I think, yeah. We don't. There's no yellow lines here. Solid lines only. White lines. Yeah. Now there is the broken line. Now, if you see a solid line, that means you can't pass it, no matter what. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's single, double line, or whatever.
But that's the thing, you know.
I don't know.
And not to hate on the guy, but all well-meaning and he's trying to be informative and helpful and everything. But you see
Right.
how we all have these different interpretations of the law, or interpretations of, you know, the right way to drive on the road.
It's full circles, because as a protester, your rights is actually all based on the interpretation of how you're projecting your protest as well. Does that make sense? No. Your protest, your way of protesting could be interpreted differently. You know, it might be interpreted as you actually projecting your voice to be heard properly or not. Like them blocking the freeway, that is not going to be translated in any right way whatsoever. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. You're trying to stop the war in Gaza Strip. So you decide to protest and block the freeway. There's no connection between your actions and what you're trying to accomplish. It's not going to be interpreted that way. Ooh, full circles. Anyway.
If you want to twist it all the way around and make it really sound bad, like you have a bunch of feminists, you know, equal rights like this, you know,
right.
No body shaming and that kind of thing. And then you have them protesting in the middle of the freeway. It's like, where's the equal rights there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, I'm not trying to go against your right to protest. Everybody, I believe, has a right to do that. But make sure that it's connected in some case with what you're trying to say.
It matches, because again, you're trying to convey a message / maybe you're trying to apply for a job. You know, in other words, dress for the part.
Right, dress for the part. That's what that is. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Touche. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Episode 144 down. Nice cup. I still want one of those, by the way. Anything else that we want to add?
We'll be selling cups for $5.99.
There you go. Hey, listen, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch. We're all there. Please like, subscribe, leave your comment. If there's anything that you want to add or you want us to talk about on the next episode, leave your comment, and then we'll try to get to it.
Hey,
next episode.
Before the next episode, when are we gonna come up with our own goodbye YouTube video?
I know, right? I know.
Like,
I think when we get to like
platform.
a couple of thousand subscribers.
And then after that, when do we come up with our apology video? Where
Right.
I'm so sorry we made a mistake.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next broadcast. Episode 145 will be this Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Philippines. Again, check us out on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram and Twitch or TikTok. The Flip Side with Jay Noel. My name is Jay.
Hey, name's Noel.
We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
On the flip side.
We will catch you on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us on the next episode, Sunday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. This is The Flip Side with Jay Noel.